My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. That's right, imposter syndrome, and why it happens. Another mindset episode. Again, mindset is very, very important in what we do, especially given that as entrepreneurs and business people, content creators, influencers, we're stepping outside of the bounds of, what would maybe be deemed as normal. And that can often mean facing the imposter syndrome a lot, right? A lot. I know it's something that I continue to face now, even though I've gotten my first masterclass done and under my belt. As I continue to move into this unknown territory for myself, as a content creator, as an influencer, as a coach and teacher, as an educator in the digital education world. There's a lot of imposter syndrome because I'm so new at it, right? I'm so new at it. So I kind of wanted to dissect that because ultimately, as you move into new aspects and expand into new frontiers for yourself and your career, you're gonna feel it as well, right? You're gonna be going through this imposter syndrome. So why does it happen? I think here's my take. Imposter syndrome can result from comparison, right? Comparison to what you see other people in your space doing the thing that you're trying to do, right? There's that question, especially if you're new. Again, like if you're venturing into uncharted territory, it's going to be like, man, why do I think that I can do this, right? I see X, Y, and Z individual. Like for me, I see Brendan Burchard absolutely crushing it. I'm not Brendan Burchard. I don't know what he knows. He's been doing this for 10 years. What makes me think I can do this after having only, 13, 14 months of experience in the content creation and influencer space, the educator space, or looking at all the other influencers, Jenna Kutcher, looking at the Biz Bros, looking at Jasmine Star. I'm like, man, these individuals are absolutely phenomenal. How can I possibly measure up to that, right? All right, so it's that comparison, right? It's that comparison. We always say comparison kills, and it really does on every level. And really, at the root of comparison, then, is just this measure that we think we have to meet, like the standard of what it means to be X, Y, and Z that we're trying to do, right? Whether you're a realtor, whether you're going into medicine, whether you're whatever, anything, whether you're an artist, right? Whether you're a musician, we have these kind of unspoken standards that we think we have to meet. And we compare ourselves to everybody else that we think are already meeting those standards. There's no standard. That's what I want to tell you. There is no standard. There's only you and your journey. And so that's what I have to remind myself. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing, and it doesn't matter what I might think the standard is. I'm creating my own standard every day. Like I'm meeting my own standard. I'm setting my own bar. And it's really not based on anything that anybody else is doing. That's the constant back and forth, though, right? That's the constant back and forth, and I think I might have talked about this on a live. It's a matter of having two voices in your head, right? The voice that tells you you can't, and the voice that tells you you can. And which one are you going to listen to the most, right? Which one are you going to listen to the most? The voice that tells you can't is the voice that's going to use the excuse that, you're an imposter. It's going to try to convince you that you're an imposter. And I think that's part of that is just the deeply seated programming that we've had all our lives that tell us, no, you can't, right? Like even from a very, very young age, as toddlers, we walk around, operating under the auspices that there's nothing that we cannot do until an adult tells us, no, you can't. right and I get it, that's not to say that adults shouldn't monitor kids. However, it just it continues to perpetuate itself in schooling, where schooling is wrong or right conversation, right? You're either on a test or a quiz, you're either wrong or you're right. And so, no, you can't, right? And that continues on. We get more and more definitions and limitations imposed upon us on what things, quote unquote, should be and how things, quote unquote, should be. And yeah, again, that's just ingrains those limitations and those boundaries. There's no such standard, y'all. I want to let you know. I mean, look at me. I'm a retired, I like to say that, retired movie theater usher that was making minimum wage at the time. It was $6.75 an hour. Turned professional network marketer, turned top leader in my network marketing career. Now moving into the education and influencer space. Right? There's no standard. There's no one track. Life is not linear, and it's not a box, so understand the imposter syndrome is coming from this unwritten standard that really doesn't exist. It really doesn't exist, and so you're going to have to listen to one of those voices more than the other, and that's really a choice, right? It's really up to you. It's I know difficult at first to listen to the I can voice, but work on that. Really focus on yes I can, yes I can, yes I can, and ultimately it'll become easier and easier to do the things that you still might feel deeply an imposter of. Right, like I said, right now because I'm so new to this space, and I only have a little over a year under my belt with this stuff. I definitely feel like, especially as I launch, these new programs, I'm launching something pretty much every month right now. And with each launch, there's that imposter syndrome creeping up. But I have to always tell myself, there is no standard. There is no standard. There's only growth. There's only learning, and there's only the moment. So that's my message for today. Imposter syndrome. If it hasn't happened to you, it will happen to you. Just know that it's not real. And it's just in your head, and it's a matter of which voice are you listening to, because there is no standard except the standard you set for yourself. So that's all for today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. I'll see you in the next episode.